So for the first experiment, the objective is to determine the current flow in series connection and to determine the voltage division in a series circuit.
So, for equipments and components for experiment 1 resistor in series, you need multimeter, DC power supply and resistors 150 ohm, 220 ohm and 100 ohm.
So this is the result for the first experiment. As you can see, in a series circuit, the current is the same at every point, which is 0.03 ampere. And for the total voltage is equal to sum of the voltage drops across each resistor.
So, the conclusion for this resistor in series, at the end of experiment, I have learned when resistors are connected in series, the total resistor is the sum of all individual resistors. The current is the same through each resistor, while the voltage divide according to resistance value.
For the second experiment, the objective is to determine the current flow in a parallel connection and to determine the voltage division in a parallel connection.
Equipments and components for experiment 2 resistor in parallel, you also need resistance 150 ohm, 220 ohm and 100 ohm, DC power supply and multimeter.
This is the result for the second experiment. In parallel circuit, the total current gets split between the different paths. The total current in the circuit is just the sum of the current in all the branches. One of the key things about parallel circuit is that the voltage across each branch is always the same as the source voltage.
So, for the conclusion for resistor in parallel and the end of the experiment, I have learned when resistors are connected in parallel, the total resistor decreases and is less than any the individual resistors. Each resistor receives the same voltage, while the current split between them depending on their resistance.
So for the last experiment, the objective is to understand the basic function of logic gates and to construct and test the sample logic gates circuits.
Equipments and components for experiment 3 or last experiment is verification of basic logic gates characteristic. You must need digital logic lab, breadboards and logic gate IC.
Cuba buat A1 B kosong. A1 B kosong. Tapi kan ketat aku lempar ni. Hijau kosong. Satu. Satu. Kosong. Oh sakit pinggang. Hijau. Cepat sikit. Dah.
So, for the conclusion for verification of basic logic and the end experiment, I have learned the fundamental operation of basic logic gates, including AND, OR, NOR, and ND, NOR, SR, and SNOR. By constructing and testing various gate circuits, we confirm that the output behavior match the expected truth tables for the each gate.